All doing fantastic. We're now live on YouTube and Zoom. Hey, welcome everybody. My name is David Rutz with David Allen Capital. Got some updates for you today, some exciting stuff. And it's always exciting, but got some exciting things for you. But if this is your first Zoom, welcome. You know, we've got an agent resource center where you can get access to things. We've got videos that you can link from there. We've got documents you can link from there. We've got links to a third-party design page where you can create your own marketing materials pre-approved that we've already made at Canva. We're modifying that. We're going to be taking that down here soon. But so we try to get things available to all of you. But most importantly, we've got an energy to help you win. And we've got a belief that you can win with this business. And we want to help you if you're hungry to win. So welcome to D.A.C. If this is your first Zoom with us or first YouTube view, welcome. And we're glad to have you. You know, our services are aimed to help clients, as you know. We don't launch a service unless we think it's a game changer or can really help people. We've got some services we don't promote super hard because they're better than the competition, but like our ID Protect product, it's better than LifeLock. It's lower price, better coverage. I mean, you can't complain about that. That's a great service. We don't talk about it all the time. It's very good. There's no reason not to, but we've got other services that we invest more time into. Our two key services are our funding and our fundraiser. I'm sorry, our funding and our pharmacy, and soon fundraiser too. So our funding product for business, small business capital, that's our number one now money product that we have. We've helped thousands of clients in our history, generated, I did the math the other day. I don't want to say it, but it was over 400 million, if I'm not mistaken, almost 500 million we've helped clients get with an average funding of only 25 or 30,000. You can see how many businesses that is. And I don't want to be held to that number, maybe 650, 700, it may be 520. I just did it in my head the other day. But the bottom line is we've helped bring a lot of money to the marketplace to help people win. And you know what? Of that, about 8% in commissions has gone out in that. So you can do the math of how much we've paid out in commissions to the field when you add all that up. That's very, very significant in our 8 years without a person paying 1 penny to be involved with our business, without an agent paying 1 penny in renewals, without an agent paying 1 penny for our digital marketing materials. Now, you may print stuff on your own, but we don't charge you a penny. You know, we've paid out millions. And the good news is we continue to do so and plan to do a lot more in the future. And then on the consumer side, so small business funding, hey, businesses are great, banks are great, but they don't fund most businesses. It's the bottom line. You need to have business collateral. It's very hard. 20% of the business can get approved, and that is it. And those are the big ones. Those are the ones who don't need you. They can go to their bank, and the bank chases them down to get them money, right? But that's not your local pizza shop, and it's not your local roofing company. Those people have to beg and borrow literally to get a bank to even consider them. So we, on the other hand, serve that market. You serve that market, and every business owner you drive by, 4 out of 10 need money today and don't have it and don't have access to it without you telling them. So that's the best thing about what we do. If you're brand new here, hopefully you already know that, and you get the word out to small business owners that we have it. Just connect them to your website. Our team takes over from there, and you get a commission for helping fuel their business. Business funding is not expensive when you take what you get and turn it into a lot more profit. Then you don't mind what it costs you. Business funding is very expensive if you take it and don't change your business at all, and now you owe debt back and didn't grow your sales. But if you got a business who's fueling their business, so they're in a tight pinch. We had someone last week, they had 1 day left to get a tax lien paid off, or their business was going to go into a tax lien payment thing. And we got them the money within 24 hours. Got them double what they needed, in fact. So there's times it's a rescue play, but usually it's a fuel play, all right? So that's us. Number 2, our pharmacy product, the game changer. There's nothing. I've literally talked to companies with 180,000 members signing up. Insurance companies with 30,000 customers want to add this as their pharmacy. There's nothing else out there like what you got, guys, but here's the problem. It's a small window. This will become the norm. Netflix, Blockbuster had a little while. And then Netflix started getting critical mass. We're not near critical mass yet. People still will go, but Walgreens just shut down a bunch of stores. I'm not saying it's because of this, but it just shows how tight these businesses are financially. And if you personally don't recognize that everyone will be on our membership in the next year or two, are you going to be the one to bring it or not? Your uncle will, your aunt will, your nephew will, your sister will, your brother will, your grandparents will, your neighbors, every one of them will be. They're all on Netflix now too, whether you used to own a Blockbuster or not, whether you learned of Netflix first or not, you don't benefit from it. The movement's going. It's going. And just like telemedicine now is a thing, and every insurance company offers it. When we first looked at it in 2015, no insurance company would offer it. But because of COVID, people got used to talking to their doctors over the phone, just like Zoom and telemedicine. It became a thing. Guess what's coming now? Pharmacy through the mail on a flat fee. You've got it ahead of everybody. So if you say, yeah, it's cool and sit on it, you're not going to become a millionaire with it. If you look at it and go, holy cow, I can make $2 to $5, 100 million people are going to switch to this in the United States. 100 million. How many millions do I want in my team? Yeah, it's up to you. You say, well, I don't need it. I don't take medications. That doesn't matter. There's Rite Aid is open, or Walgreens is open because of their pharmacy, not the candy bars and soda pop. CVS is open because of the pharmacy. There's so much greed in that. Someone asked me the other day, how do you guys do your pharmacy plan? Someone with a big business said, how do you guys do this? Where's the money come from? Well, the money comes from the membership. And by the way, when the medication is sent to the customer, it only takes 3 medications generally, or 2. If you're underinsured, it's 1. But if you've got insurance, it's usually 2 or 3 medications, and your copay now is more than the $20 a month. So you only need a couple medications for it to make value. Our business isn't sending out mainly 9 medications in a box, but it does sometimes. It's usually 2 or 3. That's all it takes to make it a value to the customer. And guess what? The shipping costs more than the bottle and the drug inside the box. How do we do it? Because Walgreens and CVS and all the others are greedy. There's nothing wrong with earning a profit, but there's something wrong with taking a product that costs less than the shipping, where the bottle and the pills cost less than the shipping, and you go pay $30 at CVS for it. That's robbery. Just because they can doesn't mean they should. And thankfully, our partners who we partnered with were tired of that greed. Been in this industry 30 years, the pharmaceutical industry said, we're okay making a profit, but the greed's got to go. Now, think about this, the barrier to entry to do what they do, what we've partnered with, the barrier to entry. Number one, they had 21 people on staff day one. They had to become licensed in every state before they could launch this membership. Number two, you know how much that costs? You know how much time there is involved? You know the legal cost of that? You had to have pharmacy on staff. You had to have phone room ready to go. You had to have everything built in advance, millions and millions invested. And now you're going to make pennies on the dollar to change the world, to change the way pharmaceutical medicine is done. Netflix went through it too, but now they make a bunch of money. This company's there's no one going to be repeating this soon. So you are the gateway to this product, or you're not. It's up to you. I'm choosing to be a gateway, aren't you? I'm reaching out to large insurance companies. I'm reaching out to large organizations because they're going to switch to this model. I'm reaching out to uncle and aunt and cousins, right? Telling everyone about it because it's silly not to be the first mover when you're the first mover. You're connected to the first movers. It's silly not to echo that and vibrate that out. If you've not made a list and started reaching out yet, I'm going to challenge your entrepreneurial intellect. To be an entrepreneur is someone who says, I want to make change and earn for it. I want to work for myself and earn for it. But most entrepreneurs in the heart are saying, I want to make a difference. I need to. It's an injustice. I need to make a difference. And so if you are sitting on this horse called the free pharmacy, and business funding. If you're sitting on our flat free pharmacy and our funding platform, if you're sitting on both of those, then I'm going to question your desire. If you're needing the money, your desire really, your hunger really, because you can make thousands this week with the funding. This week with the funding. This week you can make thousands. And you can set yourself up to make thousands residually with the pharmacy plan. One individual who's on here right now referred me to an organization. They sent out over 30,000 emails to their membership. They signed up as an affiliate like anyone else. Person referred them. I don't know how many customers they're going to get, but they've got 170,000 members, and they're going to try to get them all to sign up. And just as a D.A.C. affiliate, and they're going to make $2 to $5, and whoever enrolled them is going to get 20 to 50% of that $2 base commission. See, you're sitting on something huge here. So make a list of your warm market. Anyone you know that owns a business, reach out to them. Anyone that you know who's alive, tell them about the pharmacy. It's your responsibility to your business. How hungry are you? I was just proofreading our starting strategy final draft. And we've got a graphic in there that says your current reality, which is your status quo, and your vision, your reason why, your goal. There's a gap in there. That gap creates motivation. And that's what is either fueling you or not. You either have a desire for your reason why, that gap between your current reality, your status quo, that gap is either fueling your motivation or it's not. If it's not, I ask you, how important is your reason why? How important is that? So make sure you focus on that. All right. That's my little pep chat for the day. Some updates. Fundraiser will go live today. I just was doing a final. We had it live. We did some testing on it, found a couple little errors, like the logo that the customer gets is the D.A.C. logo rather than the healthcare logo. Or if they click on the logo, it takes them to the D.A.C. homepage. We don't want them going to the homepage. So there's just, you can't test certain things until it's live. And we were just able to go live with it this morning for the first time based on some things with our providers. And now we're doing final testing. The success page, once the person signs up, has a little link here. Go back to your D.A.C. page, and if you click on it, it goes to the homepage of David Allen Capital. We don't want the fundraiser going there. So we've got a list of 9 2-minute items. I mean, literally 1 or 2 minutes, and they're resolved. My phone's ringing. It could be someone trying to call me and say they're done, but it doesn't matter. We're gonna double test again. It'll be live today, though. Your fundraiser will be live today. So you don't need to worry about that so much. You'll also have marketing materials. You'll have a brochure that you can share with people for becoming a fundraiser. You'll have a direct link that you can email them to check out the fundraising page. And then once they join, they'll get a welcome letter, and you'll get a welcome letter telling them, they'll get a welcome letter with some ideas and a link to a resource page where it has their brochures and digital marketing and their link. And you'll get an email saying, hey, congratulations, you had a fundraiser join. When doing that, your responsibility is to now support them. There's no upline supporting the fundraiser. You are the person supporting the fundraiser. All they need support with is understanding the program, where obviously the website explains it. There's videos that explain it. They're going to see everything they need, but they may have some questions. Your responsibility is to reach out to them. So if you're going to enroll a fundraiser, support the fundraiser, or don't enroll the fundraiser. Okay. There's a lot of money that can be made there and a lot of money that can be raised for that organization. It's important that you take the responsibility of supporting them. All that requires is what? Understanding the program, understanding how to use the program, understand. So it's your responsibility to know that, obviously. How do you get the medication? What happens if you have an immediate need? Do you call the pharmacy? Do you go into the pharmacy? You're supposed to know these things before you try recruiting, and we cover all that, of course. So make sure you're familiar with the program, and then obviously go talk to your church, talk to your schools, talk to anyone you can think of about becoming a fundraiser. So So that'll all go live later today. We'll put a Facebook page post up when it actually is live. Don't go through and type in dummy emails to test it. We'll put a post up of what your email is and what their email is so you can see it. So when we say it's live, we'll show you the two emails and we'll show you the marketing materials so you don't have to go do a dummy test. That just clogs up the system and it actually hurts our numbers and what we're doing. So don't do that. We'll put it on Facebook. That's number one. Number two, and we'll take questions on this in a moment. Number two, group enrollment. Group enrollment, we postponed until this is live. Then we'll start testing the group enrollment. And we've got to fine tune a couple things with our partner on how they're going to support large groups. So that's postponed for probably a week. However, don't delay talking to groups. If you have a group that wants to talk, we've said before, you simply need to communicate with me that you've got a group. They already know about the pharmacy plan. They're interested in it. Get them on the phone with me. Okay. So you can rely on email right now, text if you've got my text, and we'll set up a three-way call. We've brought on large organizations already because of three-way calls and live meetings. So don't hold back talking to anyone, about it. All you have right now is yourself, though. As long as you yourself and your website, I mean, if you send your pharmacy page to anyone, I talked to a medical group last week that's got 180,000 doctors and millions of customers, and we're on conversation 3. Talked to another one that's got 15,000 doctors and says they have about 2 million patients, and they're actually getting ready to join already because of agents reaching out to these big doctor networks. Now, it doesn't mean all those doctors are going to put a brochure in their room, but they have relationships with the patients too. So these are the type organizations you might be able to help, as well as employers. If you've got an employer who's got 75 employees who wants to offer this, they use your link. Or if they want to earn on it, they sign up and get their own link and share it with them. So you don't need to wait for a group page to be live to talk to groups. It's just we're going to fine tune it. So in case you don't know what to say to them, the website will say it. But until then, you can use your resourcefulness, tell them this is a great program to help employees. And if they're paying for their healthcare, man, this is a great way to save them a bunch of money. If they're not paying, it's a great way for them to give a great benefit to their employees, and they should look at it. They can look at your website. They can take your link and share it with all their employees, or they can become an affiliate themselves by signing up under you. There's no special sign up. It's a D.A.C. affiliate. And then they share it. I had a medical group that I want to give you an example. One of the medical groups we talked to, they said, I don't want to just be a regular affiliate. We don't, I'm not interested in that. We're a big business. We do big business with a lot of doctors, and I don't want to just be an affiliate. And I said, okay, what is it that you want to be called? Well, I just don't want to. Well, what we can pay you is $2 to $5 per member. The agreement says affiliate agreement on it. It's all done online. So if you want me to title that something else, you're going to make $2 to $5 per member. That is what the agreement is, the same way. I didn't say it rude like this, of course, but I did say, hey, I understand if you don't like the term affiliate, but you're going to earn the same way an affiliate. We reward mom and pop affiliates the same way we reward an insurance company. If you're going to put on customers, you make $2 to $5 either way. If you're really big and you're going to do well, you're going to be at $5. If you're not, then $2. The title of it, affiliate or not affiliate, doesn't really matter. Right? So as you're talking to people, keep that in mind. They sign up in D.A.C., they earn $2 to $5. Doesn't matter if they have 70 million people or 700,000. Now, if they want to prepay for thousands of people, they want to pay on behalf. Well, then we work out a private deal with the pharmacy direct, because they're paying for thousands of members. They're not going to pay $20 each. okay, because they're paying for it, not just referring it to. And in that case, we work out a special deal. Depends on how many there are and all that kind of stuff. And then you make a sliver, we make a sliver, etc. Anytime we do a side deal like that, a structured deal based on something big, the sliver we get is how we determine your residual revenue. Okay. So it's paid, the same pay plans use, it just may not be $10 residual revenue a customer. Maybe it may be 22 cents residual revenue per customer because they're signing up 10,000 customers as an example. And then you get your 20 to 50% of that 22 cents. So, we get paid, we put a percentage of that in as residual revenue. Okay. So just so you know how those work, and we'll take questions. We're going to have formalized fundraising training, formalized group acquisition training. But right now with this new launch, we're just releasing things and then supporting it later on with special calls, etc. Third thing I want to mention is our store, our partnership with Vistaprint. As you know, they have shirts, hats, mugs, signs, banners, postcards, business cards, everything. And we've had frustration with every supplier we've tried to use. And I find myself ordering from Vistaprint to buy stuff instead of our suppliers because of frustrations with them. In fact, I remember we had a convention and I ordered 50,000 drop cards. I used Vistaprint instead of our printer because I knew that they were dependable. Paid a little bit more, but they were dependable and they were there on time, et cetera, et cetera. And just had frustrated. We've tried 4 different third-party printers and we're not in the printing business. So I don't want that. So we've decided to just get a Vistaprint store. We have to pay for this. We don't earn anything for it. But the Vistaprint store, Tyler was going to release it today. He was fine tuning. What it is we have to map where your name goes on the cards and approve certain designs. So we've been building it for a while, and it's ready. Tyler thinks it'll be released today. He just had a few errors that he had to get with Vistaprint on. They change things for us. We don't. He'll give them a design and say, we need the name there, the logo there, this there, this is editable. And then they do it. But sometimes it's not lined up right. And we got to, hey, by the way, it's not lined up right. So we're in the same shoes you guys are. We're talking to their designers saying, hey, you got to change this. There's an error here. And until it's all correct, it's not live. But we'll put a Facebook post up later today when that's live. We also then need to pull down, as you can imagine, why some of these things take time is we've got a bunch of stuff in the Agent Resource Center that links to Canva. So it's not just building that page. We can't tear all that down till the new page is live. So once that new print source goes live, now we still need to give you digital images if you want them, but we don't want them to link to Canva because now we're linking to Vistaprint. And so there's just some changeover time in there too. And we don't want to pull everything down until that's live. Right. So you can see that we're just juggling that a little bit. So there'll be some change over time. Have some patience. Ellen Wynn pointed out a ERC image that we had in our back office. We thought we pulled everything down. We missed one. There's so many things in so many places. So, we'll try to find every document and pull all of our links to Canva. And then you'll be able to order right from Vistaprint. Now, if you still want to link to Canva because you love it, we'll give you the digital item. You take it there and do your thing, but we're not going to link to Canva directly. It's too confusing for most, and it's not something we want to support any further. So we'll send them to the Vistaprint store, which is more user-friendly. Just so you know, there's a bunch of stuff that's already pre-approved. You'll be able to order it and go. If there's something outside of the pre-approved shirts, hats, etc., you can go make one and order it, but it has to get approved before you can ship it. And then once it's approved, we may take that template and make it one of our approved ones for other people. You may do something unique that we didn't think to do, right? So, and we'll add to it. The store will get larger. We wanted to make sure it had shirts, hats, jackets, and of course, cards. I think that's all the updates. The starting strategies, the new comp plan details, the new company booklet, the policies, which has policies and procedures, terms and conditions, all of that. That's all. Most of them are done. And we've got one more fast start to full-time income, which talks about the 3 ways to make full-time income with us is nearing completion. And I want to fine tune something in the comp plan details. had an idea of how to make it a little more simple. So those are the only things that have to get done, and then we'll be able to release those. Again, that's not slowing you down, but it'll be nice to have one set of booklets and then the basic building blocks training, which refers to all those trainings. It'll be nice. Each service will have its own service training manual, but it'll all be part of the full training. The app, where all these things are at the 95 percentile, right? The app, there's a couple areas with the buttons that you have on your name as you earn certain ranks. So we're just still fine tuning that. That's a little longer out because now that they're further along in their app development, as our training is completed, we can put our training into the app. So that may kick a couple more weeks onto it. It doesn't, the best thing about the app, guys, is it tracks what you send. So you know if someone opens it or not. That's the biggest benefit. There's no different. You can send your website, you can send the videos, social posts, you can do stuff on your own now. You just don't know if they click on your site, right? You don't know if they go to your watch the video. The app will help that. There's other benefits, of course, to gamify, but the only thing you're missing out on from marketing the business is the notification of open. That's the biggest benefit the app will provide you in your marketing, or the notification that someone you enrolled watched their get started training, because you'll be able to send that to them. But they may watch it direct from corporate. So it doesn't always guarantee things, but it's nice so you can track things. Okay, so that's the app, that's the Vistaprint, that's the fundraiser, the training materials, the funding. Okay. Those are all the updates. Before I got one more thing to share before we go to questions, but before I do, Sharon, Morgan, Tyler, any of you that were on our corporate call this morning, is there anything else that I mentioned that I wanted to go over on this call? I think I've got it all from here on my list. If anything else, raise your hand. No?
I think you've got it all.
Okay.
I agree. I think you covered it all.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Well, with that, I just want to say one last thing. When I went to get last Friday, my daughter had a nasal infection. I may have already shared this story, but I want to share a little bit further on it. And so we went to CVS to get the medication, and I have ClearShare, the product we market. And I have one medication I take called lisinopril, which is for blood pressure. And when I'm taking care of myself, I don't need it. When I'm not as healthy, I need it. Like my body responds quickly either way. So it's on me that I even have to take it. But for that, I still got the membership because all the medications of our family is less than $30 a month, frankly, but it's close. But I figured, hey, you know what? Sometimes we'll have a need, a steroid for this or an antibiotic for that, or whatever. I can order some over-the-counter stuff through it as well and get half on that. So I'm going to do it. So we got the membership. Plus, we're marketing it, so of course I would do it. And last Friday, so I've got ClearShare, and then I've got our flat fee. And last Friday, when my daughter had this nasal infection, we went to CVS, and I said, hey, I gave the prescription. I mentioned nothing about our flat fee pharmacy. I wanted to see what ClearShare was, which ClearShare's got a real good pharmacy plan. But this medication that she was given was $25. I said, okay, great. But I already knew it was on our free formulary. Okay. And I'm saying this because this is a user experience you need to remember in case it happens to you, because it will. I believe it will. So it was $25. I said, okay. Oh, actually, I've got another pharmacy membership. It's actually free. And so can you run it through? And I gave her my free pharmacy card. And she goes, great, thanks. And we're in a drive-through. And she leaves, comes back. I didn't say it was free. I said, I got another one here. I said it was free, but she didn't hear that and gave it to her. She goes, okay, great. We got it for $5.22, saved you $20. I said, no. It's actually free. And she said, free. I said, yeah, can you run it through and take a look at it? It's not $5.25. And she goes, hang on. She's on the phone. Hang on. And I'm right outside her window in my car. And she goes and talks to the pharmacist. So she was the girl that took the money and gave the delivery. She went and talked to the pharmacist. Pharmacist took my card and said, hang on. She walks up to the computer, types it in. And the girl picks up the phone and says, or the pharmacist, who's also a woman, says, we have to re-enter this because we already priced it and ran it through a prescription under your insurance. So we actually have to re-enter it to reprice it. So that girl said $5.25 without rerunning it through. And why'd she do that? Because she's never heard of us. And she's like, okay, I'll just give it to the $5.20. She just set a price. She didn't even run it through. So I say this because if I didn't know better and I didn't say, no, it's actually free, I would have paid $5.25 and go, well, I saved $15. And then I'd come back to you and go, you said it was free. They charged me $5.25. So because it was already run with my insurance, they actually have, and she's got it in the package ready to hand to me. And I said, how much is it? She's 25. I said, oh, well, I've actually got one here that's free. Can you run it through on this card? Because it was already stapled in the pack, they got to rerun everything, delete that order and rerun it, like returning a product because it's already in the cash register. So it took work. She was able to change it to $5.25 in a second without rerunning it. So I said, no, it's free. The pharmacy then went in, did this change, took about 2 minutes, did the change. And she goes, okay, here you go. It's free. I said, thank you very much. I said, can you put that card in for my future pharmacy? Yeah, it already is. So now next time they won't run it on ClearShare first. They'll run it on the flat free. But I say this because if you don't know how the pharmacy programs work, like once they run it on a card, it's not easy to run it on another. You actually have to delete an order, she actually had to put it in a different package, put a different slip on it, staple it, had to redo everything. Most of them aren't going to do that. They're just going to give you a low price and say, go. Oh, here, $5.25, here you go. No, it's free. So I say that because sometimes we have to be an advocate for ourselves. You ever taken health insurance into a restaurant, into a store, a hospital to use it, and they go, okay, your copay is $300. No, my copay is $200. No, it's $300. No, it's $200. Let me call. Oh, you're right, it's $200. So you got to be an advocate for yourself on anything like this because CVS at your local corner maybe never has heard of D.A.C flat fee RX yet. Right. So you need to have that printout of those medications. You need to know it's free. If it's on that list, it's free. It's not wrong. It's free. So you want to have now, hopefully the next time I go in there, because they'll run it on flat fee first, I won't have to go through that. Hey, reprice that because they wouldn't have already had it ready for me to pick up. Right. And price with my, my pharmacy meds. So I just wanted to share that little story. And, hey, listen, the last thing I'll say is if you've ever been in network marketing or affiliate marketing before, there's a pre-launch period, and then there's a launch period, and then there's a growth period, then there's a momentum period, and then there's a sustain period. It goes like this. Bumpy, 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 okay, clearing out ironing it out, clearing it out, and then momentum. And everyone in the industry hears about it then. And you either built the right foundation and momentum can keep going and then maturity, or you didn't. And all of a sudden you start hearing things about they were shut down, they closed, they had to be bought, or they had something happen. I've had that happen to me. Grew too fast, had to partner with someone. So fortunately, we won't have that risk here. But we're in this phase. We're just starting to do this. And some of you, whatever you get on the horse right now and start going, you see 90 days from now. 90 days from now, we're going to be in massive momentum. The API is resolved from our provider. All new orders are going in. All renewals are going in. We're going to get the renewals from the 1st through the 20th of February added at one time. Those are coming in sometime probably today or Monday. But all the new renewals on the 23rd, if someone renews from last month, it'll hit your API today. So everything is now, we're getting that resolved. The ClearShare is all resolved, the API new orders, and now they're flushing in all the old. So all the bumpy pre-launch stuff to the residuals. I know we're not in pre-launch, but we just added new services and modified our focus to be residual based rather than just big bonus. Big bonus isn't on the back burner. Big bonus is big bonus. You can't put that on the back burner. That baby hums. But to get the residuals going requires a lot of extra work for our company, and we're doing it, and that changes the story a little bit. So all of our marketing stuff is modified slightly, so it's like a pre-launch, but it's near a growth phase. So if you wait, it's a mistake. I'm going to encourage you. The results you see 90 days from now is what you start today. The results you see next month is from what you did 90 days ago. And it's usually a 90-day cycle where you see the benefit of all your, just like working out. You eat right, about 90 days from now, you'll really see the benefit of eating right for 90 days. You'll feel better immediately, but everyone else will see it around 90 days from now, big time. It won't just be 10 pounds loss and maybe 40, if you've got that much to lose. So you got a lot to gain in this business. It's time to get after it. You need to sit down like I'm doing. I now reach out to a certain number of businesses every day. I've got it. I must reach out to businesses about our funding. I wasn't doing that before. I must reach out to people about our pharmacy. I must reach out to groups about our pharmacy. I must reach out to people about our fundraiser once that goes live. So I'm in phase 1 mode, which is recruiting and selling. Phase 1. Phase 2 is managing your recruits. Can do well if you got good recruits. Phase 3 is overseeing your managers. You just stop making money. Phase 4 is overseeing your overseers. It's a lot of people in your overseer mode right now. A lot of people in oversee manager mode right now. And a lot of people in management mode over managing their recruits who aren't doing anything. So that means the revenue is zero. And you get paid on revenue. So make sure you stay in phase 1, which is recruiting and customer acquisition all day long. That's what your focus is. 90% of your time needs to be new prospecting. 10% is working with your team and following up with people who are thinking about it. That's your goal. Now, once you have a mature group, it switches, and maybe you're not recruiting as often, but you still, like me, I want to be fresh. I want to be fresh in the funding world. I want to be fresh in the pharmacy world. I want to be fresh in the fundraiser world. I've never done fundraisers before, so I'm going to find out real quick what they like to see and need tool-wise. It's game on, guys. It's game on. I don't know for sure that any of you are going to talk to groups. So I've got to. And you got to think that same way too. You don't know if anyone you personally enroll is going to go get a lot of volume of customers or get any funding. You don't know for sure. So be the example. You do it. You set yourself up for residual. Go get 50,000 customers on this pharmacy plan at $5 each and make $250,000 a month. I've never made that kind of money, but I've gotten 50,000 customers. So with this type program, $5 a customer, come on, man. Let's get out there and get after it in a big, big way. Reset your goals, reestablish your goals, stretch. And if you're in another company where you're like, yeah, but this I'll ask you. If you're in a company that you're focused on, I get it. You should be focused on something. I'm just going to ask you something. Is that product at such a competitive advantage like this? Our funding, we have the platform. You can't get funding better than us because we represent all the providers. One application, best offer, boom to them. Can it be beat once in a while? Of course. You can beat Travelocity's pricing if you got a special deal or this or that, but the simplicity of it is you can find the best deals quickly. Pharmacy, no one can touch us. So you've got it in your hand. There's other people who sell something similar because they're reselling our partners program, but you must sell it for more than. So that means they're at a pricing disadvantage right there. So it's go time in a major way. All right, let's go with questions on fundraiser first. If you got any questions about fundraiser, let's start there. And because that's going to be going live this afternoon, I want to make sure you know all the questions on that, and then we'll come back for other questions after. Okay, who do we have for fundraisers, guys?
Hands that stayed up are V Wright. You can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Happy Friday, everyone. Am I heard?
Loud and clear, V.
Hello. Thanks for that, Dave. Always, Dave. Always good. So on the fundraiser, I do have a comment, but my question on the fundraiser is it for all nonprofit businesses or is it just for churches?
It's for anyone who wants to raise funds. I mean,
Oh,
it's the
okay.
same pay plan. It can be a church, it can be a nonprofit blood drive. They got to go get clients. They sign up as a nonprofit and they refer the services.
Okay, great. May I make my comments or wait until you come back
Please,
around?
please.
Okay, so this kind of dovetails into part of what you ended with. I'm really excited today because yesterday after lunch was around 2. I walked like 5 blocks and I just said I'm going to talk to every business in this 5 block range. And I wound up having 10 conversations. But get this, in those 5 blocks, guys, were 5 banks.
Yes.
And I spoke to every well, 4 banks and 1 credit union. And I just want to share a couple of things for those people who might be a little more shy. First, these people are not busy. Okay. Every bank and financial institution I went into, I was seeing right away because people were standing around doing nothing. Okay. So it looks good for them if you come in there and say anything, right? Because I don't know, they may have overseers. I don't know, but I took up some of their time. None of them knew about what we're doing. And one banker I spoke with, the first one, Missy, she's my new BFF. She was super excited. I mean, she was super stoked. And she was like, yes, and I will share this with my other colleagues who are lenders because this you're meeting a need. People need this out there. She could not believe what I was saying to her. I've already followed up with her this morning. She was so enthusiastic. She was like, look, I just had someone in here last week who needed something, blah, 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 blah. It was just a very encouraging conversation. This is a
Yes.
smaller bank. I also went to Chase and I also went to Wells Fargo. Chase they can't do this. But I wrote the guy and said, hey, well, share with your personal network. Wells Fargo only does lines of credits. And I said, well, hey, if you get anyone in for a line of credit or anyone in for a business loan, you can consider sending them over to us. But the point I want to get across is this. I've been doing this now about 6 months. I am very much in phase 1. I have 2 ERC clients. I had a business client that did get funded. I should have dozens of pharmacy clients, but I can't make people follow through if they don't follow through. But I believe I am building a field and they will come. I am planting
Yes.
seeds. I am getting the word out. And see, for me, yesterday was a win, guys, not because I got funding, but because I got such a great reception. And what that has done is spurred me to keep going,
Amen.
and keep
Amen.
going. And I'll
Love
continue to keep going.
Love it, V. What a great testimony to your activity. That's an MVP day, even if you don't get a funding or an application, because like you said, it fueled you. Well done. They're our friends. They're not our enemies. Banks are better for some clients than us. But we're best for all the ones they can't help. So great stuff, V. Thank you. Who else do we have? Morgan?
Next
I don't
up,
have my readers on.
yeah, we've got you. So we
Great.
have Jose Vasquez next. You can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Okay, can you hear me?
Loud and clear, Jose.
Okay, are you able to release the link for the fundraiser yet?
No.
Okay,
Because then
that's number
people will
one.
start clicking on
Right,
it.
no,
So
right,
no,
okay.
yeah, yeah. I know you
Number
probably want to cut
two,
your marketing and stuff like that, but it'll be out there soon. It'll be out. We'll put it on Facebook as soon as it's live.
okay, number two, I was in my back office, and this is the first time I've ever noticed it, but it and it pertains to your agents that you have, and there's a spot at the top where it says email all. Are we able to hit that and make an email to send to all our agents at one time?
You bet.
Man, that's wonderful. And that is for all the new agents who haven't found that yet, because that's very
Yeah.
helpful.
Obviously, you're
Very helpful.
liable for if you email them telling them about something else, you're instantly deactivated. So there's rules. You got to stay within our terms and conditions. But yeah, absolutely. We make it so that you can communicate with your team. Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Good stuff, Jose. Thank you, buddy.
Thanks.
All right, next up we have Joy Jackson. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Yeah, David, thanks for all the awesome updates. I'm excited.
Thank you, Joy.
I have a question. I have an agent that approached a potential customer with the RX. And
Yeah,
they said, well, they looked up the company and it's a startup company. So what would you say to them?
I don't know what company they looked up, but D.A.C is not a startup, and our partners at America's Pharmacy Source are not a startup. They're licensed in every state, and they've been distributing millions of customers with or millions of pharmaceutical medications gone out. So
Right. So
they looked up
they've been in
something else.
business. Have they been in business 7 years, 10 years?
Yeah, well, they're under this brand, yeah.
Okay.
I think it was
And what
2017. I think 2017 is their official launch year. Yeah.
awesome. And what's the actual name of the company?
America's Pharmacy Source is the licensed pharmacy.
Awesome, thank you. And one other question. Do you have a script to approach large businesses?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, it's not out. I sent it to Tyler, lays all our stuff out. We just sent it out to him.
okay,
A script to approach large businesses and fundraisers, and also a script for them to share with their employees or fundraisers to share with their members. So yeah,
awesome. Okay, thank you very much and God bless.
God bless you. Thank you, Joy.
All right, and next we've got Brian's Beat. You can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Hey, how you doing?
Good. How are you, Brian?
If I were doing any better, there would be three of me. Thank you.
Amen. Amen.
So I know you're coming up with the fundraiser site today. Is that going to be exclusive for the RX product, or is it going to just be an offshoot of David Allen Capital?
It's for the RX product. It's branded on the RX. It's on the RX site. But once someone is an affiliate with us, you can market anything we have. Once someone's a RX member with us, they can market anything they want too. The welcome letter is only mentioning the RX. But if you got someone that says, hey, we want to market ClearShare, or we want to market that ID Protect, absolutely they can. They actually have rights to do everything you do as an affiliate. They can even recruit people for that matter.
Will they see that on the fundraiser site, or is
No.
that something I have to introduce to them?
You would have to tell them about it. We're staying focused right now, laser focused on fundraiser of RX only right now. That's it. It's the most friendly RX fundraiser product we have.
Final question dealing with this, and that would be, what are the parameters for the fundraiser? I know you said earlier that anybody that wants to raise funds, but political organizations, how far does the fundraiser reach, or the 501 status part of it reach?
Yeah, so they obviously have to be a nonprofit organization. Otherwise, they're a for-profit business and they can just become an affiliate. Right? So they have to be tax exempt as a fundraiser, which would include, any organization that's out there. Now, if someone let's say someone, a soccer club wants to raise funds, they can sign up and raise funds. We're not doing a background check to make sure they're tax exempt, but then they got to enter a tax ID number. So we require a tax ID number for everything. So if someone's a small mom and pop group, they wouldn't be able to sign up because they don't have a tax ID. They would have to register. So Joey's Cub Scout group can't sign up because Joey's Cub Scout group doesn't have a tax ID. The IRS requires we don't pay anyone unless we have a tax ID on file.
So that stated, somebody could throw in numbers into that category.
Yep.
Are you going to care? So in other words, you're going to
Eventually,
end up
yeah.
giving out at the end of the year, you're going to end up giving out whatever form to the company for their tax filing. That's
Yeah.
up to them, not necessarily up to you.
Well, no, that's
You
not
just
true.
have to notify them.
That's not true. We notify them, but if we don't have the accurate ID, two things happen. One, we can pay a fine, $1,000 per occurrence. Number two, you have to start doing tax withholding on them going forward, so you can't pay them anymore. Like there's a lot of people whose address got kicked back with the most recent 1099s. We're supposed to hold their commissions going forward and not send them money until they update their address in their back office. If you didn't get your 1099, by the way, in the mail, anyone, it's probably sitting on my desk over here, and we're sending out memos to update your address. But so yeah, we care. We don't want people putting in fake numbers. That's fraud. They have to have a tax ID, a real tax ID. Our system doesn't verify with the IRS, but in the end, we pay a fine if it's not accurate. We can't pay them any future money, so they would lose. Let's say they got $700 a month coming in January next year. Also, we're not paying them. Now they're blaming us that we don't pay them. We said we would. Well, we thought you were a real organization. So I'm only saying this because I know you're asking for what's allowed and what's not. What's not allowed is anyone who doesn't have a tax ID.
Gotcha. Have a great one. Look forward to the fundraiser thing coming out later.
You bet. I can't wait to say the one last thing I want to say, but I'll wait to. We have any other questions?
Yep, we've got a few more. We have Trey J. I think that's Jamar. You can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Here we go. Here we go. Can you hear me now, David?
Loud and clear, buddy. Loud and clear. Trey J.
Well, my name is Jamar John Johnson. So, Trey J, 3 J's.
Oh, I like it. Okay.
So what an exciting time to just get connected back in. I've been talking to a lot of people about the pharmacy RX stuff, and really good reception. So I'm excited about that. Coming up here in 2 weeks, David, I'm here in Austin, Texas. I don't know if you know that now. I'm here in Austin, Texas, and we have a big event called South by Southwest. Now, last year there was about 360,000 people that showed up here, and it was mayhem. But now I have my own venue here in the heart of downtown. It's a comedy venue called Truth, Love, and Comedy. And we'll be doing 2 shows a night every single night during South by Southwest, which is 8 nights of shows. Now I've got a roster of about 10 comedians. We're going to be out pounding the pavement. And I've got a flyer that on one side promotes the show, but on the other side promotes Pharmacy RX. So hopefully we can get it in the hands of thousands of people. But my question for you, especially about the fundraiser.
Sponsored by D.A.C flag. So you make it look like a sponsor.
Well, yeah, of course. That's the whole goal.
Yeah, well
sponsored by. So I had 2 questions. One was how much, because obviously you said there's like a reimbursement for certain activities, right? Like certain groups and membership. South by Southwest is pretty pricey. It's like $2,000 to get a pass to go everywhere.
Yeah.
And then they also have a pass for right before South by Southwest. It's South by Southwest Educational. So that's another whole group of people, but that's from the 4th all the way to the 16th. So my first question was, what's that reimbursement amount for, activities like that?
Just so you know, we don't reimburse activities like that, like going to shows or going to training like that. What we do reimburse is Chamber of Commerce organization. If you join a Chamber of Commerce and you get 100,000 in funding from members, from those chamber members within 1 year, we give you not only your commission, but we'll reimburse up to $500 of your Chamber of Commerce.
Cool. Cool. No problem. Yeah. So I'll get into that Austin local chamber. Good on that. But yeah, I think what I would love, obviously, if there are any D.A.C, because you don't have to have a pass to be able to walk around and connect with people, and people are going to be marketing all sorts of stuff there. So if there are any D.A.C members that want to come down to Austin, Texas, I do have a 2-bedroom condo, so I do have an extra bedroom if anybody needs a place, because forget about hotels, you won't be able to get them. But if they want to work this business and also attend my shows with me and also leverage, network, and because I'm going to have about 120 people per show. So, and honestly, one of the biggest things that occurs is the comedy venues that exist. Joe Rogan's club is 5 blocks away from mine. There's never enough space. His club can only hold 400 people at a time. The other clubs are like 120, 150. So there ends up being 400 people standing in line waiting to get into the club. So I'm going to have my comedians just walk past people like, hey, if you can't get in here, come here. And that double-sided flyer is going to be driving people to, my affiliate.
Hey, I'm a street comedian. I'm going to get on a stool right in front of your line there. With a bucket in front of me and get buckets of laughs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Love it. Hey, what a great venue. Way to take advantage. See, that's entrepreneurial. Go, Benny, go.
Well,
You-
I have one more thing, David. I'm not done.
Oh,
I
go
have one
ahead.
more question.
Go
So I
ahead.
just got booked. The LA Times just reached out to me to come do a charity event in LA. So I'm
Mhm.
really interested on how to leverage the charity component of what we're doing. So I do probably 3 charity events per month as an auctioneer or MC. So I think this could be incredible for just my entire pipeline. So I
Yeah.
cannot wait to get some more information on that.
The greatest way to look at it is, as you know, many of them are reaching out for donations, and some of
Yep.
them have big donation groups, and so they
Sure.
don't do fundraising any
Yep.
other than just requests for money.
Hmm.
But obviously, giving this membership away and then earning 2 to 5. Once they're at 200, most fundraisers are going to get to 200 members.
Yeah.
$1,000 a month recurring revenue evergreen for the life of the customers can be very lucrative.
Absolutely. And then the last thing I want to ask you is what's the countdown timer to what is it, RVP? Is it about 95 days left, or what's for that 100 with that 1,000 reoccurring monthly?
So that's not the RVP, but it's for the 7-level bump up. You have till May
Okay.
31st. May
May 30.
31st gets you the 7-level bump up if you get to 1,000 residual revenue. So even if you just went out and got 100 pharmacy customers between
Okay.
now and the end of May, you're there. And you
Got
got
it.
to maintain it. It's not just, you don't just get in, you got to maintain the
Yeah,
1,000.
absolutely.
Yeah.
The
Yep.
goal would be to get 1,000 customers reoccurring, but yeah.
Yeah, you
But
got it. You
I
got it.
appreciate it, David.
Look
Thank
at
you.
the type of money that's made for that. All right.
Thank you.
Who do we got next? Thank you, buddy. Trey J. I like it.
Next up, we have Tracy. You can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Can you hear me now?
Hey, Tracy, how you doing, buddy?
Good, good. Everything's going
Good.
great down here in the Ann Arbor area.
Yeah, nice to see you again.
Good to see you. I just had a quick 2-part question for you. I had a needy dog, so I had to step away a couple times. And I was listening. So it sounds like there's a deal with Vistaprint for some items.
Yeah. We
Cool.
created a Vistaprint store. You know, Tracy, we've used different printers over the years, and we've always ended up having to discontinue the relationship. Usually they think we're going to do a lot more volume than we do. And I think they start giving us pricing they really can't afford to operate business on long term. That's what we believe. So Vistaprint, we just created a D.A.C store there, which means we can
All right.
put pre-approved stuff up. We actually have to pay for it. We don't earn anything. You guys go direct, and we've got pre-approved stuff, and you can order. They've been a real great printer for me for years, so we believe them. They may or may not be the best, but they're the most dependable as far as I'm concerned, and they give you a lot of options. So yeah, that site should be live. You will post it on Facebook when it's live. We believe it'll be today.
Got it. And then the part that I was in and out on was the commission on the D.A.C. RX. I said
Yeah.
it sounds like it starts at 20%, then it moves to 50, and I just didn't catch where the cutoffs were. I'm sure I can find this information, but I figured
Yeah.
right here.
Yeah, so it goes from $2 to $5. It's the same pay plan as all our residual services. You have a 20% base, and then you can get up to 30% in bonuses. And I don't have the chart committed to memory, but I will tell you 2,000 residual revenue, which is equivalent to 200 pharmacy customers, you're at the 5. 1,500 or 150, you're at the 4. So I don't have the chart in front of me, and rather than getting it wrong, in the comp plan details, there's a chart that shows you how you go from 20 to 50.
Got it. Okay. I guess, yeah, I do have that printed out right here next to me. I just thought maybe if you could just hash it out for me right fast. quick,
I would. I'm in my office upstairs. I've got another office, and that's where all my materials are. And I don't have that handy in front of me. I'd have to run down to grab it.
I'm also in my office with all my daughter's artwork hanging on the walls.
I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Looks good. Nice to see you, buddy.
All right. Thank you much.
Thank you.
I did type out the page number for that in the compensation training as well, if you got the updated one printed out. So it's on page 8. All right. And next up we have Matt DeHame. You can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Good afternoon, or good morning. Is it afternoon there? It is, right? No, I don't know what time it is there. I've lost. Doesn't even matter. It's time to talk to large groups is what time it is. And my Lord, David, you got me inspired. I'm doing that. I'm doing what you're doing. I just started it actually yesterday. Two questions. So does the nonprofit fundraising group act as a personally enrolled agent on my our pay plan for me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like a
Yep,
personally enrolled
treated
agent. Okay,
treated like a frontline agent as
perfect.
an affiliate, yes.
Wow. All
But
right.
it
Well,
counts
that's
toward qualifications. If you mean, do they count toward my qualifications? Yes.
yeah. I'm going to act as if they're a personally enrolled agent securing clients. I
Yep.
mean, I'm going to get paid, and it's part of my group residual revenue per month. I mean, with that group, I mean, it's a leg. It's a leg of group residual revenue in the pay plan. Is that correct?
Yep.
For monthly. Okay. That's unbelievable. You can see where that's going. When you get just 2 or 3 of those, right? To push you, this is just amazing. I have to tell you, man, it's fantastic. The other one, just what size, when do we get the discount for the group? For example, I'm talking to some large companies about the RX. And you want to get them on the phone with you. You mentioned that to me once or twice. You want to have a conference or you want to have a call if it's large enough.
To get a discount, they'd have to be paying for every member, and it has to be at least 10,000 members.
10,000?
Yep.
Okay. 10,000. Otherwise, it's
I had a 10,000 paying group, and it took pulling. They had to see that it was going to become more. I mean, keep in mind, guys, they're making nickels and dimes. So for them to cut the cost, because they're paying us a commission too. So you can see what we're paying out. They've already got with us a real discounted price. So to pay us a commission and give someone a thing, they got to see they did this because they know we'll put on hundreds of thousands of customers. That's why we're getting this. So there's just not a lot of money in this. So they got to have 10,000 prepaid before they're going to get a discount. Yes.
prepaid. Oh, I see. I see what you're saying.
Yep.
So they would. Okay.
I've got a person who's got 180,000 in their email. They're not giving them a discount at all. It's $19.95. Send them out.
Got it. All right, simple enough. That simplifies it. I mean, it's cheap enough, right? It was $50. Hey, it's $19.95 with a discount from 50, right? I mean, it's unbelievable.
I've got someone who's got 5,000 customers that they're paying for it, and they're paying $19.95.
There you go. Wow.
Yep. So
yeah, I have people add this up
before you get a discount.
It's unbelievable.
It's
you add this up
at 10,000, just so you know.
Yeah. Oh, got it. I mean, it doesn't even, it's irrelevant. And the point is the savings. So my only question to you is, as approaching these larger companies, right? Just simply tell them they just share the link, my link, with each of their employees, send it in an email or something, and each can voluntarily enroll at their discretion, right? That would be the way to do it, right? Say, here's the link to share with your workforce, and each.
Yeah, what would happen is they become by the way, do you see the personal residual income chart there?
Yes.
On screen, okay. That's for you, Tracy. It's one of our slides that you haven't seen yet, but that's the personal residual as it relates to RX customers. That's how you get up to 5. So take a screenshot of that. But yeah, for groups, if they're an employer group and they want to earn, then yeah, they'd have to join as a rep. And
understood.
Sending your link out and you're earning the 2 to 5, and their employees are all paying $19.95.
Understood. You just want to just inform them, their HR department or their whomever. If you want to add, my suggestion is in addition to our health care or health insurance that you're on, talking about the large group, you can add this in your email if they'd like to volunteer or if they'd like to have this for themselves. Got it.
The way our group enrollment's going to be, our group enrollment actually, Matthew, does the logic you just had. It's automated. They ask how many employees they have. Do they intend to prepay themselves, or are they paying? Are they have employees pay? And based on their answers, we've got different buckets, and they get a different success email. Perfect. And it's either your link because they don't want to earn on it, so it's going to be your link as the referring agent, and we give them an email what to say to all their employees. And if they are going to prepay, then it becomes a different story based on number of employees. Same.
That's thing. Yeah. That's where I was going. Yeah. Okay. So you've got that all in the box ready to roll out there?
The logic's already built. We've not got the partnership. There's part of it goes off to our partners. So that's not solidified yet. And so but we do have it built and tested. I've got to update some content on the main page. I'm writing what the website page says. But it's already there. I shouldn't say writing. I'm editing it. So that's got to get done, but that'll take me 20 minutes. Everything else, the hard part's already done. So that's why I postpone that. We're gonna get the
Yeah.
fundraising live, focus on that,
Got
do that right, and then we'll do the group.
Understood.
Right now, if you got large groups, just connect them to me personally.
Oh, okay. You still want me to do that? Okay.
Doing
I
it
have
now.
it.
I'm doing about 4 3-way calls a day right now.
Wow. All right.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Congrats. I mean, let's go. Let's go. I'm excited now. More excited.
And,
Happy about it.
and by the way, it's obviously it's a game winner. It's a game winner, no question. So it comes down to the 3 ways to make full-time income. Number 1 is funding. It's the easiest way now, money, renewals, everything else. And we just did renewals, almost 200 grand a day in renewals. And that means reps are getting paid on that from someone they signed up in the past. So it's still, funding is still the lion's share of the revenue we're doing, but you can see where this is going.
All right. Last question we have is Earn with Tracy. You can go ahead and unmute yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay. First, I'd like to say thanks for everything that you do. I'm really excited about the opportunity.
Thank you.
And my question is, you said you have call scripts for big groups. Are you able to share that with us?
We'll share it as they come out. We're going to kind of launch it all in one thing. So I could, but I just don't have it handy right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's basically the same thing we say. We just want to introduce something to you. My name is Joe. I'm with D.A.C Healthcare. Just want to inform you, meet you and inform you about our health share product. If you're leading with health share, just want to inform you about our innovative pharmacy plan. We're doing to pharmacy what Netflix did to movies. So if we could save your employees a ton of money and save you money, would you be interested in learning more? I mean, it's the opening, the script, the recipe for approaching people is the same. It's just what's the ingredient you're talking about? Is it healthcare? Is it funding? So the scripts, when you see them, you're going to go, that sounds just like the funding. Because
Right.
that recipe works. So I would just replace anything that says I'm in business capital to I'm in healthcare. I'm in, we've got we love to help businesses raise money to grow. We love to help companies. We love to help employees get their medication at a reasonable price and help employers take care of their employees. Stuff like that.
Okay. All
So
right.
you'll
Well,
see
thank
the script. Yep.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. John Arthur Moore, is that who I see there?
You can unmute yourself, John.
Nope. I don't know if we're getting John or not, but okay, well, John, we'll give you one more time to try to get you in here, John. Okay, I'm just going to roll. John, just type your text into the chat. Support will answer you. I want to end with something. Okay, so we're ambassadors, right, for D.A.C. That's what we are. Now, some of you are more dedicated than others. Some of you are real dedicated to the funding. Some of you are real dedicated to the business recruiting. Some of you are real based on your past and your history. You've got something you're real dedicated. And some of you are lukewarm, right? The Bible says, don't be lukewarm or hot or cold. Don't be lukewarm. Lukewarm does nothing but waste your time. It doesn't produce revenue for you. It doesn't produce income. It doesn't change your life. It just, unfortunately, does a lot worse. It, keeps you stuck in something, but not necessarily benefiting, growing your business, changing your lifestyle. So you do not want to be lukewarm. You want to be hot or cold. Get in or get out, but don't be in between. Right. So now those of you who are in, we're assuming you're in if you're here. We're ambassadors. All right. And I look at if you're an ambassador and you're like part of the army of D.A.C., some of you served in the military. When you were in combat, were you watching the news? Hell no. Were you checking out your socials? Nope. Did you care what the latest president's speech was? Maybe, but probably didn't even look. Bullets are flying. Men, friends, women. I wasn't there. I'm just imagining. I get passionate thinking about the sacrifice of our soldiers. They're out there representing our country, and they're dying and living and being heroic and losing limbs they're ambassadors for America, right? And they're out there doing this, and they're not caring about what the latest short is or TikTok is. It's not even on they're dedicated with one focus: preserve the freedom of America and take the victory of whatever their assignment is. If their assignment is build a road, they're going to build the best damn road as quick as possible, as safe as possible, so that their crews can come along. Now, I've never been there, so I can't relate, but I can relate to being an entrepreneur, building something and being on the front line of that. Totally different. I get it. But my point is, to be successful, distractions gotta go away. You don't get to spend an hour on Facebook fluffing around, just seeing what's new. You don't get to get stuck in emotion on CNN for 3 hours and hate Trump. And you don't get to get stuck for 3 hours on Fox News and hate Biden. You can do all that stuff, but you're not a difference maker except in your emotions. Guys, we've got to get up and represent what we're ambassadors for, your life. Forget D.A.C. D.A.C. is your supplier. America's Pharmacy Source, I'm not doing this for them. I'm doing this for D.A.C. They're our supplier. We're not, Vistaprint isn't, they're our supplier. We're not trying to make them millions in sales. They're our supplier to fulfill our goal so that we can be an ambassador for the business owners out there, so that we can be an ambassador for you as an entrepreneur. So we all, let's keep this in mind. Lukewarm is spit out. Jesus said it. If you're lukewarm, you get spit out. And be hot or be cold, but don't be lukewarm. And I would just encourage all of you that if you find yourself, I say that to myself, I'm like, what would I do right now if I were in Iraq and the bombs were dropping? Would I be pulling up my Facebook? I know it's not the same, but until you've got the lifestyle you want, until you've helped others get the lifestyle they want, until you've got that, do you have that same dedication? And you don't have to be that extreme. I put a post up the other day that said, I want to squeeze more into life, but I no longer want to feel the squeeze of life. I'm not saying stress yourself out to the point where you got to drink to get over your stress, or you got to comfort eat, or you got to yell at someone or scream. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying, man, with a fervor, with a passion for yourself, don't be lukewarm and set down some of the distractions. Just take it a rule. Take Facebook and pull it off your phone. I use Facebook for business. I don't know what TikTok does or doesn't do. I'm not on it. I don't know what Instagram does or doesn't do unless my Facebook business posts show up there. LinkedIn, I'm there once every 6 months. I know I could rely on it. It's not my business approach. It may be yours. Then be there and use it. I'm not there. You won't find me there. I'm not in my Facebook Messenger. You won't find me there. What is it that's distracting your time, if anything? I don't know what it might be, but I'm going to encourage you right now. You got a lot more time to be on the front line of phase one if you're not on the back lines of social distractions. God bless you all. Love you all. Let's go make a difference in your life and everyone else's life. God bless you.